Hello. I hope you're having a great day. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for giving me some of your time. I really appreciate it. Today I'm going to do something different. I'm going to kick off a series of very short videos highlighting one of my favorite U.S. housing outlooks that comes out every month. And that's the outlook from Apollo, and it's actually Apollo Global Management, and it's put out by Dr. Torsten Slok. And if you follow me at all, you know I love Dr. Torsten Slok. He is the also contributor to the Daily Spark, which I highly recommend you subscribe to. It's another free newsletter. And then once a month, he comes out with the U.S. housing outlook, and he also once a month comes out with an inflation outlook. He just puts out a ton of great stuff. And of course, he's massively quoted across the economic field. So what I'm going to do is there are seven sections to the U.S. housing outlook. I'm going to break it into 5 short videos. Now, I've done this. I've covered these outlooks every month for a year, and I've tried to do it different ways. And when I've tried to do it in like one sitting, it's like a brutal hour, and I don't want to rush through it. I just want to highlight how we can use data, we can inform ourselves with data, we can adopt an economist and use their forecasts, use their data, use their charts to not only raise our professionalism and our financial literacy, but we can also do it to help educate our referral partners and our clients. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some of the more important articles. So I'm going to share the report with you versus just telling you about it. I think you'll enjoy that visual more. So see, here's a copy of the report. You can see Apollo U.S. Housing Outlook. It was printed at the end of February, but it's for March. And I'm not going to do everyone. We're just going to cover the leading indicators of the housing market in this video. I won't spend a lot of time on each one, but I will talk about the importance of each one. This is the intent of housing starts. Multifamily for rent has declined significantly. We're going to pass that. Currently takes 17 months on average to build multifamily houses. What he's getting to here is that with permits slowing down, we're going to have probably a shortage of rental housing in 2 years from now. Now, we have not a glut. We had a ton of units come to market the last 2 years, so we have saturation. But now builders are slowing down that building, so we'll have shortage again in a year and a half or 2 years. The home vacancy rate is speaking to open inventory on the market. You can see vacancy rates are really low, so there's not a lot of pent-up supply. Here, rent inflation. This is important because the owner's equivalent of rent and housing costs have been going up. They've plateaued and they start going up. We'll see on another slide. But with rent inflation, it's starting to be driven by the small cities, as we'll see. Next, 32% of Americans say they would rent if they were going to move. That's, I don't think, so significant. Inventory of existing homes is very low. Low inventory for homes for sale, historically speaking. The U.S. has an estimated deficit of 2.4 million. Now, we've seen this number. I've seen as high as 5 million. I've seen as low as 1 million. Everybody uses, a different formula. But there's definitely a deficit of homes. And Barry Beebe would say not only a deficit of homes, but we're not building enough homes to keep up with household formation every year. That's definitely what this line shows right here. Now, this is starting to get interesting stuff. Mortgage originations have normalized for households with high credit scores. What that means is that, look, we're originating about the same amount of volume for people with high credit scores as we had pre-pandemic. We'll take out the pandemic, and that's true. It's actually true for most of the credit scores, as you can see here. You can also see that mortgage originations for people in their 30s are back to pre-pandemic levels. And all these slides, these last couple slides that say we've normalized. It was so uncomfortable going from the outsized market and business we had in 2021 to right-sizing to what it is today. But we're in a fairly healthy right-sized market as it relates to volume, not as it relates to margins, not as it relates to affordability. But from volume and participants in the market, we're kind of normalized. You already have all this. We won't spend a lot of time where the half outstanding mortgages are below 4%. Here's the effective rate. This is kind of the interesting thing, and this is why inflation has been sticky and why GDP has been just performing terrifically. Is because even though interest rates are up, most people's debt is locked into a long-term interest rate. And so the actual effective interest rate on all outstanding mortgages is only 4%. And it just got to 4%, as you can see. And so homeowners, for the most part, haven't felt the pain of higher interest rates. Now, of course, new homeowners have, but it's just an interesting statistic. This is also interesting, and this is why I like following Torsten or whatever economist you do. Look at all these really rich charts that you can adopt into a lunch and learn, or into a home buyer presentation, or into a consultation with a referral partner, or when you're trying to solicit business from affinity partner like a financial planner. Look at all this great data. This is the average interest rates at the origination for outstanding mortgages. So, for example, of all mortgages outstanding in California, the originating interest rate was 3.9%. And it's kind of interesting to see the highest interest rate is here in the South. Very interesting. And some of the lowest interest rates are on the coast. So I found that interesting. This, of course, the percentage of mortgages outstanding by interest rates. In case anybody asks you, you can get these charts right here. Distributions of interest rates on outstanding mortgages by vintage, or that is by the year originated. You can check that out. More than half of all mortgages have been issued before 2018. That's a good sign, because those ones are usually have a little higher coupon. Average monthly mortgage payment is now, on principal and interest, is now almost $3,000. This isn't so interesting. The next couple slides are the ARM share in total mortgage applications is 7.6%. I mean, when you have inverted interest rates, you would actually get a higher rate on an ARM than you would on a 30-year fix. So that makes sense. Now, as they uninvert and we start to get spread, this number will change. And here's a positive about this changing. Look how the distribution used to be, right? This is the share of fixed rate mortgages. In 1990, it was only 72%. In 2000, it was 75%. And then, of course, we hit the great financial crisis, and we had inverted interest rates. And so there's really been no ARM market to speak of. And it's a much healthier housing market when we have ARMs and 30-year fixed rate products. This is the share of households planning to move in the next 12 months. You can see it dropped significantly over the last 2 quarters. About 16% of households think they're going to move in the next 12 months. If you take all the households, I think there's 170 million or something like that. 12% is a big number. We'd love to see that happen. And that's it. That is the first section of Dr. Slok's housing outlook. The other sections actually get more and more interesting. I'll do one a day every day this week. It'll be really fun. I encourage you to follow Dr. Slok. I encourage you to subscribe to the Daily Spark. It's such a good newsletter. And the great thing is, it's really short. It's like a 30-second read, except for when he attaches outlooks or reports, and then you can choose to dive deeper or not. I'll put a link to this. This is actually, there's a link to the website where you get the PDF. I'll put it below. With that, I hope you got a lot out of this. I hope you join me all week. I'll make these quick. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining me so much. And I will look forward to talking to you soon.